Hello, welcome, and thank you for sharing your time with me. This is Jan's Stampin' Cafe, and I'm Jan. Today I'm going to show you step by step how to make a triple cube card and an alternate use for clear drying glue. Stick around to the end for instruction to modify today's card. I will link to supplies used in the description box below. I first saw the triple cube card a while ago. Fellow demonstrator Kim Fee shared this fold, and I was taken with it immediately. I'm not sure where it originated, and now I'm seeing so many modifications to it. The card will fold flat to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 and fit an A2 envelope, or 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 and fit an A6 envelope. Depending on the embellishments you choose, you may need an even larger envelope. If it is folded to its smallest dimension, it will be thicker as well. This card was made using the BOHO INDOGO product Medley from Stampin'UP. The stamps for today's card are from the Game On stamp set from Stampin'UP. And I will be using real red cardstock. My piece is 8 1/2 inches wide and 8 inches long, and we are going to score along the 8 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch, 2 1/2 inches, 4 1/2 inches, and 6 1/2 inches. Now, using the Stampin' Trimmer, the 8 inch side is across the top, and I'm cutting at 4 inches and again at 2 inches. Burnish and fold all of the score lines as valley folds. I'm using the Stampin' Seal Plus to close the cubes and column. It will be applied only to the 1/2 inch tab. Be sure that adhesive is not exposed to the inside of the cube or column because your card will not pop open. Fold the tab flat first, then lay the other end over it, concealing the tab inside. Now repeat this technique with the remaining cubes. I chose the top of the cube based on where the ends of the cubes are joined, making the joint less visible from the front. Often we put those in the back, but I'm choosing it to be in the front. Off camera, I prepared 10 sets of layers for the surfaces I wanted to decorate. My cubes are 2 inches by 2 inches, so the silver layer is 1 3/4 inch by 1 3/4 inch, and the black layer is 1 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches. I heat embossed the images from the Game On stamp set. I did not choose to decorate the inside front cubes because they're not highly visible. I added my layers to the inside bottom and back of each cube and the front and top of each cube. I decorated both cubes, then I added them to the column. Check which side of the cube will face the column. It is easiest to flatten the column, being sure the joint is on one of the sides. You do not want it in the front or the back, as it will be in the center and more obvious. Check that you know which side of your cube will face the column and apply adhesive. Keeping the cube flat, align the cube with the column at the side, the bottom, and center fold line. Now repeat this for the remaining cube. The cubes should be tight together at the center score line. Add the remaining layers to the column in the top portion. Now it's time to add the pop-up elements. I'd like you to see how I used my clear drying fine tip glue as a glossy accent. The glue is in a fine tipped container and I just colored in the chest shapes and let it dry. Because the liquid is thick, it dries with a slightly rounded edge and gives the image a more realistic appearance with very little bulk. Notice that where the chest pieces are masked or layered, there is a small line where the glue was drawn on one piece and dried before I filled in the other chest piece. I left space so they could look like two separate plain pieces. Then I fussy cut the image. I thought it turned out great and makes the pieces look authentic. Now to attach this, I want the playing cards and chess pieces images to be attached only at the center fold so that they are squarely visible when the card is displayed. That means they must attach squarely on the fold only. To do this, I punched 2 circles per image that are small enough to be hidden behind each image. I'll fold the circles in half. I will then add glue to only 1/2. Attach 1 circle to each side of the card fold at the height I desire the image to be. Each circle will be glued on 1/2 and have a free floating half. It is this free floating half to which the image, in my case, the playing cards or chess pieces, will be glued. It is easy enough to glue the chess pieces to the top portion of the card, but as you watch, I fiddled around finding a good way to reach between the cubes to attach the playing cards. As you see, I finally realized that I could fold the card flat, splitting the cubes apart, and that worked quite well. I could hold the circles in place very easily. Later, you will see that I accidentally bent the chess piece a little when folding the card, so be sure to give the embellishments enough room in the fold. There's plenty of room for a sentiment and message on the back of the card. You'll notice that the blue card uses only half of the space. The very vanilla piece is cut 1 3/4 inch by 3 3/4 inch and leaves a small border. The red card will have 2 pieces of whisper white cardstock measuring 2 inches by 4 inches added to both sides of the back of the column. That is the exact size of the column and there will be no border. If you prefer to have a border around each of the cut pieces, cut the pieces at 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Be sure to stamp the sentiment before attaching. There you go, a triple cube card. It's a lovely display card. It stands securely and is a unique fold. I added a sentiment to the front and 2 black panels to the inside of the column. I thought it provided more continuity. I really like the game pieces, especially with the extra shine. I promised you details for modifying this card to a larger size. Here's a template for it. You should be able to get a screenshot of this now. Fold it to the smallest dimension, it is 5 by 5, and if you keep all the embellishments within the bounds of the card, it will easily fit in an A7 envelope. All of the folds are exactly the same as the smaller card. Adjust the decorative layers to fit the 2.5 inch square. Thank you for watching my tutorial. Please click on my face to subscribe to my channel. This is how I'm encouraged to create more videos. Check the links below for supplies used and don't forget to visit Jan's Stampin' Cafe Facebook group. I'll be back soon with another tutorial.